Hello everyone, this is Denise over at Yoga Nook and I am here with this week's tip for the body. One of the questions I get all the time is, I'm not flexible. I'm not sure whether I can be able to do yoga or not. And flexibility is something that's very interesting. Yes, it does stem a little bit from tightness in the body, but the other part of flexibility is about how is our body created? How is our bones put together? And each person is a little bit different. So yoga is a good way for us to be able to learn a little bit about how our body works, because each of us is unique and special. So today what I'd like to show for you is how this plays into our hips. So a good way to be able to check into this is to be able to take your hands and place them on your hip bones. Think about where your thigh bone is connecting with the hip. Can we be able to feel where that bone is? If our thigh bone connects a little bit closer down, it could affect our movement versus if it's higher up. It also affects whether we have a deep hip socket or whether our hip socket is very shallow. So coming to a stance on our mat with our feet about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider if you like. We want to keep our hands on our hips. And we're just going to do a quick fold so we can be able to see what happens when we fold with our thighs. And as we fold, we want to fold at the hip socket versus at the back. That way we can be able to protect the integrity of our back. So I'm going to take a deep breath in, and then as I exhale, I'm going to fold, feeling where my fingers hit the hip socket. Now noticing how the bones are connecting with the hip, that can affect how deeply you fold. If you're a little bit tighter, it may just be a half fold, or if you're a little bit looser, you might be able to release completely down, either touching the mat, or if you have blocks, you can be able to place your hands on the blocks. That's what they're there for, to be able to bring the ground closer to us. And we're going to come back up, placing the hands back on the hips. As we inhale, bending the knees slightly, pressing into the feet. I take a breath in as I rise. Another way to be able to look at it is take a wide stance on your mat. So the wide stance could be, again, that's based upon how your thigh bone is hitting with your hip socket as well as how tight your muscles are. So I'm going to take a little bit wider stance, and I'm going to bring my hands back to my hip sockets and take a breath in. As I exhale, fold. Noticing how this feels against your back and against your hips. And then get ready to come back up. Again, put a slight bend into the knees and pressing into the feet. Taking an inhale, rise. And then bringing the feet back together, taking any movements. So I invite you to be able to explore what's going on with you. Taking a moment, just standing wherever you are, bringing the feet about hip distance apart, bringing the hands to the hips, and then just doing a gentle fold wherever your hands are, and just noticing the movement of your thigh bone. And then think about how that affects your movement in your yoga practice. As anything, this changes as we grow and evolve. Thank you for joining me for our tip. May your mind be at peace, your voice bring joy, and your heart full of love. Namaste.